for Kentucky's highest-ranked win on the road since 1977. We're getting ready now for Oklahoma, first road game in the SEC on the Plains.
No doubt about it. And for Auburn, which quarterback is going to be able to show up? They're going to start Peyton Thorne. Can Peyton Thorne make enough plays for this Hugh Freeze-led team?
Sooners going with Michael Hawkins Jr. We will see him in action running this offense coming up after this.
Against the Auburn Tigers. As we welcome you to the Bud Light kickoff, Jesse Palmer on assignment, his other ABC duties. So thrilled to have Jordan Rogers, our good friend, with us here for this one. Oklahoma at Auburn, first time this has ever happened, and they're going to go with a true freshman quarterback, are the Sooners. Only the 7th time in Oklahoma history they're doing that. Michael Hawkins gets the nod.
You think it's going to be loud the first time he takes the field here on the Plains? It's going to be crazy. But look, this Oklahoma offense has been stuck in the mud most of this season. And Michael Hawkins Jr. gave them the jolt they needed last week against Tennessee. It started with his legs. Such a dynamic athlete. Got a free rusher here. When something bad happens, can you make it into a positive? Great job trusting his legs. And he's a dynamic guy. Don't let him out of the pocket. And what I loved is a young kid, you got to get the ball out of your hand as quick as possible. His release is so fast. And right here, 2.1 seconds getting the ball out of his hands to his receiver. Here's what I need to see is a little bit of composure on the road here, because this crowd's going to be going, like I said.
Well, I just love this. Listen, Jordan, we said it. When conference realignment came about, we knew we would see some new things, and now it's a new challenge for those in the SEC. A never-before-seen logo in these parts for Auburn. It is crimson and cream. It is Boomer Sooner taking the field here at Jordan-Hare, their first ever SEC road game. And a new direction with a dynamic freshman quarterback who they hope can break out in just moments. And here is Auburn. 2-2, but folks, I know it sounds like an excuse, but they could easily be undefeated. Turning the ball over nonstop, having thrown 8 interceptions this year. But now their focus, they are ready and they are prepared for the Sooners as we continue on the Bud Light kickoff from down here on the Plains.
Prime time, everyone in the country watching. What else could you ask for?
Oklahoma facing the SEC gauntlet.
All eyes are on Jordan-Hare Stadium. It's a different day today, baby.
We've got a great challenge, first road game at a place like Auburn.
We play harder than the other team on the other sideline. Every freaking time we get in this station. Wide open, downfield, touchdown.
Gets past one man and into the end zone for the touchdown.
You know, Auburn head coach Hugh Freeze has been killing it in recruiting, but it's important to simply win on the field. And a result today that could make it easier to forget the last few weeks of turnover stumbles, baby.
Thanks, Tess. Hugh, you're going with Peyton Thorne today. Why does he give you an advantage against this multiple defense?
Just experience. You know, he's been in some of these battles before last year, and then obviously in another conference. Just think he's had more looks than Hank has. That gives us a better chance probably to hopefully get settled in earlier.
OU's going with a true freshman mobile quarterback. What's the key when facing a guy that can use his legs?
We haven't figured that one out yet. We've struggled all 3 games, the last 3 with mobile quarterbacks, but I know DJ and the staff will have a good plan. We got to corral him when he gets out of the pocket.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Jordan Rogers, our Bud Light spotlight. You talk about the turnovers, but look what they're up against on the other side today with this nasty defense for Oklahoma.
Yeah, this is what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object right now with this Auburn offense against the ball-hungry Oklahoma defense, who's been nothing but a turnover machine. And you heard Hugh Freeze. Experience is why he chose Peyton Thorne, but he needs him to protect the football. Don't try to make too many plays today. Just make the play that's in front of you.
This place is just special. Jordan-Hare on a day like today. Oklahoma and their fans have never experienced it. Couple Sugar Bowls these proud programs have played against each other. Just the 3rd game in the series of 2 blue bloods of the sport, and it comes here at one of the venerable cathedrals of Southern college football, Jordan-Hare, as Oklahoma won the toss and they elected to defer. Zach Schmidt is kicking off today. We do have a little bit of a wind, as is noted. You will see on that big grand American flag high above the stadium, it is driving from right to left as the ball just came off the tee.
Yeah, and watching the quarterbacks throw in the direction that they're heading right now, there's a lot of wind in their face, so something to watch as the game evolves.
Well, last week, Jordan, Peyton Thorne had to come off the bench to replace Hank Brown in the second half.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago had the 4 turnovers at Cal, but last week really gave him a spark in 4 drives, led him on 2 scoring drives. They need his experience because this Oklahoma defense is going to throw the kitchen sink at this Auburn attack from fronts to back-end blitzes. He's got to be on his numbers today to make sure the decision-making is where Hugh Freeze needs it.
A dangerous Jarquez Hunter is the featured back. He's one of the dynamic game changers in the entire SEC. They're going to quickly get it in the bubble to Simmons, and Simmons is wrestled down at the 24-yard line. Our impact players are built by the Home Depot.
And on both sides, there's a lot of talent when it comes to Auburn. You just mentioned his name, Jarquez Hunter. He's one of the best running backs in the entire SEC. Got to see a lot more of him today. And their #1 wide receiver, Keandre Lambert-Smith, going up against 2 of the best on the Oklahoma side, linebacker Danny Stutzman and Robert Spears-Jennings on the back end.
Billy Bowman made the tackle for the Sooners. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. Here's Hunter, and he is tackled for a loss by the great Danny Stutzman.
Boy, just mentioned Danny Stutzman. You might want to block him on the first play. He's going to skirt right here, and the right guard just misses him. Right guard thinks he's on the guy to his right, should have stepped up, and that's a big negative play.
3rd down and 12. Thorne drives it off the hands of Cam Coleman, the true freshman who was the #1 wide receiver recruit in the country a year ago.
And a great read there by Peyton Thorne, just a curl flat. Young, talented receiver Cam Coleman. He's got a bright future, but has had some problems with drops, and that's not the way you want to start the day for this Auburn offense and Hugh Freeze.
So a 3 and out will bring out the 6'3" big Aussie Oscar Chapman to punt away, as Peyton Bowen's going to have a chance for a return. Driven knuckler inside the 35, and special teams coverage right away on top of it. Now here's one of the big stories. It is the true freshman from Emerson High School in Dallas, Texas, who, as we said, becomes just the 7th Sooners quarterback in history to start a game as a true freshman. Say hello to Michael Hawkins.
Yeah, and you see him there, the 7th dual threat quarterback prospect last year, and that's what I want to see today. I want to see him trust his legs as a young quarterback. When you're replacing a guy like Jackson Arnold, don't try to toot too much. Listen to your feet, make a play when it's there, and trust your feet.
Hawkins going to give him an easy pitch and catch to get the day started, and it's Brennan Thompson who explodes upfield for a 1st down.
Boy, that's great to see. I spoke with offensive coordinator Seth Luttrell on the field before the game, and he mentioned, get the ball out early, get my quarterback in rhythm, a lot of screens early as well.
Quick tempo, short pitch to Barnes to the boundary, and he's taken down at about the 49-yard line. It was Jalen McLeod with the tackle for the Tigers. Second and 8. Barnes again as he crosses midfield. It'll be 3rd down from there for the true freshman quarterback Hawkins.
At first real test here on 3rd and medium. This Auburn defense blitzes at an extremely high rate. Tennessee brought a lot of pressure last week against the young quarterback. I expect Auburn to do the same.
Third down and 5 for Hawkins. Here are the legs where he's so dangerous. Look at Michael Hawkins go. The true freshman houses it here on the Plains. What SEC road game pressure. 48-yard touchdown run for Hawkins. Seth Luttrell, the offensive coordinator, drew it up. Hawkins delivered.
How about that? For your first first drive as a true freshman on the road in a hostile environment. What'd I say? Trust your legs, right? I'd say he did it.
And if you got those legs, you can trust them all day long. You cannot ask for a better start as Zach Schmidt adds the extra point. Jordan, explosive speed by the dynamic young Hawkins.
And here's what I love. They're going to bring pressure, and it's going to be an ET stunt here. And as those guys cross, watch the hole open up right here. Trust your legs. Just step up into it, then take off. Great decision by Michael Hawkins to not force a throw to the flat and to take off the true freshman on the biggest stage of his life out to a hot start.
Brent Venables said to us the other day, Mike Hawkins is confident. He's loose in the right way. Was he ever loose on that touchdown run?
I mean, we knew he was quick. The breakaway speed that he displayed to just separate from that Auburn secondary, that was special.
Katie George, what say you?
Well, guys, Mike Hawkins found out he was starting this week when he got to practice on Monday. Brent Venables did not make a big team announcement or have a one-on-one meeting with Hawkins. He walked on the field. They said, you're starting, and it was business as usual. Hawkins said this is a big moment for him and his family, given his dad played for OU in the early 2000s. He said the key today was to stay poised and let the game come to him. I'd say so far so good.
No doubt. Saw Dad there. He played for Bob Stoops, went on to play some Arena League, a couple years with the Packers. And he's got to be proud of his son the way he starts this game. All right, Auburn, remember the first drive, 3 plays, -2 yards. Peyton Thorne coming back for the ball that was nearly intercepted, and that has been the big problem all season long for Auburn. Tip balls, deflections, and then turnovers. Des Malone nearly got one. KLS was the intended target.
Yeah, just a full field progression, work from his left to his right. That's his 4th read. Sometimes you just want to dump it down to the running back, right? Too much time against zone coverage for those eyes to be on the quarterback and break on the ball there. So a rocky start so far for Peyton Thorne.
Hugh Freeze making a decision to go with Thorne over Hank Brown, who was last week's starter against Arkansas, but threw 3 interceptions in the first half. Thorne, that was nearly picked pinpoint. That was Ethan Downs who had his hands right in the face of Peyton Thorne.
Boy, just another good job of reading eyes. I'm going to try to set up the screen to the tight end right here. Slipped the screen, and great job by Ethan Downs, just reading the ball separation. As soon as that quarterback separates his right and his left hand, put your hands up. And a 3rd and long on this second drive for Auburn.
3 straight incompletions for Thorne. 3rd down and 10. Quickly into space to Hunter. Jarquez Hunter trying to weave his way, and look at that extra surge to move the chains.
You just got to feed this guy, right? When we talked to Derek Nix, the offensive coordinator and running back coach, about Jarquez Hunter, just 12 carries last week. He's like, we got to double that. So not just doubling his carries, but also getting him involved in the screen game. 7.1 yards per rush there, 5th in the SEC. Good things happen when you give him the ball in space.
15-yard reception for Jarquez Hunter. Been the every game starter since his true freshman season. Now he'll get some work here, but he is met and then driven back as it was Billy Bowman the first to get to Jarquez Hunter, and the rest of the Sooners defense cleaned it up.
Billy Bowman is special. His ability to go from the back end at free safety or strong safety, wherever he's at, and get to the line of scrimmage in the nick of time, right? He met the running back there at the line of scrimmage from 10, 12 yards deep. He's a guy that when you flip on the tape, he jumps off. I used to watch Earl Thomas back in the day. He looked like he was moving in fast forward. Yes. Everybody else was moving in slow motion. That's how I feel when I watch Billy Bowman.
Got a quick glimpse of independence there. The bald eagle who got the nod today to bring about that War Eagle battle cry. 2nd down and 9. Quickly getting it out to Lewis, and Robert Lewis, the senior from Georgia who transferred from Georgia State, takes it ahead for a 1st down.
I like this. Get the ball on the perimeter, right? Oklahoma's so good between the tackles. They give you so many different looks. They muddy it up. So make this a 2-on-2 game. Make it a quick, fast break like in basketball. Get the ball on the perimeter. See if you can break a tackle and create an explosive play.
Fakes the flea flicker, and then Hunter goes ahead. Faking the flea flicker and then finding that hole and going straight ahead for another Auburn first down.
Watch the effect it has on Billy Bowman. You're going to see him right in the hole that opens up. As Hunter fakes this, he backs up 2 steps, and that gives Jarquez Hunter 2 more yards of separation and then get downhill. Nice little wrinkle there from Hugh Freeze.
Hugh Freeze, of course, for years and years, one of the most creative offensive minds in the game. First down, Thorne drives the ball to the outside, and coming up with the catch that time was Keandre Lambert-Smith. He falls down and stayed focused on the ball, Jordan.
Yeah, it was actually a really great throw by Peyton Thorne as well. The anticipation, threw that one really early. And Lambert-Smith, like you said, a great job on his heels of coming down with that one.
20-yard reception for KLS. Peyton Thorne settling into this game all of a sudden after that shaky opening possession for Auburn. Alston with the carry. And Alston running hard. And look at the way he's holding on to the ball, because it is Damari Alston who has been one of the guys who's been most affected with the turnovers.
Yeah, he's had a fumble in the red zone in a critical moment. But this team as a whole, the turnovers are really the story. They could be 4-0. You mentioned it early in the open. If they weren't leading the country in turnovers, there's a good chance they're undefeated here with Oklahoma rolling in, and this is a completely different conversation around Hugh Freeze.
Second and 7. Thorne's going to run it himself inside the 10 and spins for that line to gain.
And this is what I want to see more from Peyton Thorne. When you go through his interceptions on tape, it's not really that he's making a terrible read or throwing it right to a defender. He's trying too hard to make a play. So when it's covered like that, trust your legs. He's a good athlete, especially in the red zone. You'd rather have a positive play, not move backwards or make a mistake.
Sam Jackson is in the game at quarterback. He's played quarterback at Cal. He's played quarterback at TCU. And here at Auburn, he has come in these shorter goal line situations. Now, the ball is at the 6, but they like the package with Jackson in this spot. They go with the power run game from the quarterback, but he cannot break free. He was trying to shake loose, but he couldn't get past Thomas. Mason Thomas with the tackle.
Yeah, interesting to bring him in there at the 6, like you said. I was at practice. They were bringing him in around the 2 or 3 yard line at times. It felt like the offense was in a little bit of a rhythm with Thorne. You take him out there, and now a very big second down, 2nd and goal.
This will be the 11th play of the drive after Oklahoma immediately with their true freshman quarterback hit on a 48-yard Hawkins touchdown run. This is Auburn's response. 2nd and goal. Thorne, as he makes it to about the 3-yard line, it'll be 3rd and goal from there. Mason Thomas involved again, as Billy Bowman was.
Boy, this is where I want to see Hugh Freeze give Peyton Thorne a 2-way go. I'd like to see him get out the pocket a little bit. Get some rub routes, some crossers on the outside to the field. You got a lot of space to work with being on the left hash. And give Peyton Thorne and his athleticism the chance to tuck it and make a play if it's not there.
3rd and goal. Top receiver, KLS, is at the bottom of your screen. Hunter. He gets down to the 1-yard line.
Got to go for it here. I think that you hand the ball out to Jarquez Hunter because you know you got 2 chances to get a touchdown. Now they're going to bring in some extra beef here. Sam Jackson, the receiver, was a quarterback back in the game.
Sam Jackson. Caleb Burton is actually lining up at quarterback. Caleb Burton, and we're going to get a timeout used by Oklahoma. So that was sneaky as they go with the shift. And all of a sudden we saw Burton in the backfield. And it will be 4th and goal when we come back.
By Burger King, you rule. And in part by High Noon. Sun's up. Please drink responsibly.
They've only played 2 times, Oklahoma and Auburn. 2017 Sugar Bowl the last time. Baker Mayfield went for nearly 300 yards. G.D. Westbrook came up big in that Sooners win. We got a 4th and goal. Sam Jackson is in at quarterback. He has 7 touchdowns in his college football career that now spans 3 different schools. Jackson running right, turns it upfield. He didn't get there. That tremendous Sooners front with Billy Bowman and the rest of them. Danny Stutzman. Everybody getting involved down the line, Jordan.
Well, that's why I said it right in the break. I might as well just hand it off to Jarquez Hunter here, being 1 foot away because Oklahoma is so good going sideline to sideline. Billy Bowman is going to get all the way around this and come back and attack Jackson right there at the goal line. Once again, Billy Bowman not just playing at the line of scrimmage, but be playing on Auburn's side of the line of scrimmage to bring the ball carrier down there on 4th down. That's why he's one of the best in the entire country.
Bowman comes up with the 4th down goal line stop, a turnover on downs, and 13 plays going over 7 minutes. No points for Auburn. And now the true freshman on the road, 5 yards into his own end zone, is Michael Hawkins. And listen to Jordan Hare. Barnes, couple yards of breathing room.
Boy, how about that for your 2nd drive as a true freshman, being backed up, standing in your own end zone, making checks at the line of scrimmage. That's where the helmet communication goes so far for a young quarterback. Seth Littrell can get in his ear and say, hey, slide the protection here. You're safe on this side. Hand it off. Can walk him through a tough spot that he's in right here.
Our coach-to-player communication now. The green dot you see on the back of the helmet, that's new to college football this year. Barnes again patiently waiting, picks up just a couple because Falk met him with the tackle. So now here comes Seth Littrell. You see the play caller there with a big 3rd down to get out of trouble.
And now we're going to see just how much Seth Littrell trusts his young quarterback and just who they think they have on the outside that can make some plays. That receiver room is decimated. They're down their top 5 receivers. So a lot of new faces here on 3rd medium.
Nick Anderson, Anthony, and Deion Burks all out of action now this week. 3rd down and 5. Hawkins from his own end zone. He can't get anywhere. Taken down by Austin Keys.
This is a great job from the pass rush on both sides, not being selfish, but rushing and closing in, rushing and closing in. You don't want to run by an athletic quarterback like Michael Hawkins Jr. He'll hurt you just like he did last drive, but constrict the pocket and take away those rush lanes. Great job by this Auburn front.
And now Luke Elzinga, just a yard from that back line of the end zone. As they will not come after him, they set up for the return for Keontae Scott. It's outside the numbers and driven back. That is exactly what you want to do as a punter from your own end zone. Well done by Luke Elzinga. So Auburn came up empty after a 13-play drive. What can they offer up when we return to the SEC? For Jordan.
Yeah, Alabama's kind of used to having Georgia's number. Let's see if Kalen DeBoer can fit right in to the shoes that Nick Saban vacated.
Here's Peyton Thorne. Gets the nod for Auburn tonight as he slithers his way ahead. You know, all week long, everybody was looking at the weather map, right? Hurricane is coming, the deep south with all the football. And then you get the 7-10 split among these games and back there at Athens. There's a hurricane.
Just right down the pipe.
That star just to the left is where we are here on the plains. The further star is Tuscaloosa, and you see Athens there, but went right in between.
Nice little draw.
It was.
Just straight through the uprights.
I mean, in the last 2 days of weather here at Auburn has been just glorious. We had a sun-kissed morning on SEC Nation as the sun was rising for the pregame show there. And the flag comes in.
False start. Offense number 13. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Geraldo Fairweather, who's the senior.
And this was a big issue at practice on Thursday when I was there. Auburn really wanting to go to that double cadence where they clap, look at the defense, maybe adjust the play. There was probably 10 false starts in their jog through period, so really struggling with that as a whole. They got to get that corrected.
Of course, our thoughts with so many who were affected by the hurricane, the torrential downpours and nearly 15 inches of rain in Georgia, but we're so blessed that here in Alabama and to those to the east, they were saved. Here's Thorne on second down, who's thrown to the outside, who's looking for Camden Brown.
Well, a little miscommunication on the outside. I think Peyton Thorne signaled to Camden Brown man-to-man coverage, and he's saying, turn and look at me, right? Settle down a little bit. Had off coverage, free access there. Thinking Brown would just settle instead of run towards the field there, towards the space on the slant route.
Peyton Thorne facing a 3rd and 12. He was benched after the loss to Cal. 4 interceptions in that game. Oh, they tried to go inside, but instead it was Woolard getting his hand to deflect it.
Boy, another really good job. Speaking of Zach Alley, he mentioned when you're rushing a quarterback, don't rush the quarterback. Rush with your man, especially on those screen plays. If he's going to start to vacate, don't just run to a quarterback and let him go right by you. Move with him. Did it there. And the second time, a little screen was snuffed out and knocked down.
And the second time, a 3 and out for Auburn. Oscar Chapman on to punt. Flag is down. And as the ball is driven into the end zone, we will check on the flag. Jason Autry heads up this crew. Brent Venables looking for an explanation. Going with a true freshman quarterback today is coach.
Illegal formation, kicking team. Number 23 was not on the line of scrimmage. The 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play after the touchback. First down.
Now, speaking of the true freshman quarterback, our player check-in presented by Allstate. You want to see how fast Michael Hawkins is?
First drive, 3rd down. We knew he was quick, but look at the breakaway speed. I mean, there's Auburn defenders in the second. Look at this. Watch, we're going to put it right on the 40-yard line. Bam, go.
So here's his 40 yards to the end zone.
Full pad, slowing down a little bit. 4.48. Are you kidding me? And there was Auburn secondary defenders that had great angles on Hawkins, and he just ran away from all of them.
A true freshman, a 48-yard touchdown run, and that has the Sooners up 7-zip as Barnes will take the carry. He's met at the line of scrimmage.
We kind of mentioned not the perfect scenario for a true freshman. He's had a hot start so far, but you're on the road. You're down your top 5 wide receivers. Offensive line is starting its 5th rotation as well. And look at all the names. Seth Luttrell on the field earlier was saying, I'd love to have just one of those guys.
Katie will inform us a little more there. All the shuffling they've had to do and the domino effect because of it. 2nd and 9. Here he goes again, and this time Hawkins has to come up short as the defensive back was coming in, as well as Asante. Katie.
Well, Tess, they're so decimated at receiver. They moved cornerback Jacoby Johnson to wideout this week in practice. Given the severity of the situation, the position change also led to a jersey number switch as well. Johnson's wearing number 19, the same number formerly worn by tight end Caden McIntyre. McIntyre is now 86 this afternoon.
And Katie, this is a spot where you need your best receivers. 3rd down and 7. But that injury report doesn't help. But they get it complete as he drives it to Bauer Sharp, and Sharp with a big chunk play inside the 25. Michael Hawkins absolutely rifled that, but let's check the flag back at the 35. A 47-yard reception for now.
Pass interference. Offense number 87. The penalty is 15 yards from the previous spot. Correction, half the distance from the previous spot. Repeat 3rd down.
That's the other tight end, Jake Roberts, who was flagged.
Yeah, you're going to see Jake Roberts trying to do a little bit of rub route. Gets too much. You're going to see right here he's trying to set a little pick for the slant route. And you got to at least look like you're trying to avoid the defender. That time there really got a piece of him, which opened up that angle, or excuse me, opened up the field in the middle there for Bauer Sharp.
And now it's 3rd down and 21. And that means 88,043 faithful are ready to roar for their defense. And quickly get it back to Sharp, but this time he's going nowhere.
Just a massive penalty on that 3rd down, and you're going to look back at that on film and watch it and go, you probably didn't even have to make contact there. You had leverage. The slant would have been there anyways, so just an unfortunate pass interference on Roberts.
As we come to the end of a first quarter, highlighted by the true freshman Michael Hawkins' 48-yard touchdown run. Glad you're with us watching the SEC on ABC. Alongside Jordan Rogers, I'm Joe Tessitore up here in the booth. Katie George down on the field. With Elzinga to punt away for Oklahoma. A couple of return men back deep for Auburn as it's driven out of bounds, and that is where Auburn will take over, and that means we get to see Peyton Thorne, who has a great backstory in terms of family legacy. Grandfather was a D3 coach. His dad an offensive coordinator. Started his career at Michigan State and was very successful there. Was a team captain. Came down here to Auburn, won the starting job 6-6, but then choppy waters this year, Jordan.
Yeah, didn't have a ton of talent around him last year. This year, there's a lot of young talent around him. Just a little inconsistent. I think he's trying to make too many plays at times when he can just let his playmakers, and especially his running back, work for him.
Had a good long drive earlier today, but the difference in this game was the turnover on downs at the 1-yard line. Play action. Thorne gets it complete in stride to Coleman. Cam Coleman, he's going to be a superstar in years to come.
Well, I love this. Normally the X receiver out wide by himself. This time, tuck him in the slot. Get a matchup here on a nickel back. He's a big body. Man coverage, little crossing route. It's a great design by Hugh Freeze for the young 5-star, formerly the number one receiver in the country last year.
Been dealing with a shoulder injury this year, but you can see the talent. 34-yard reception. Speed option. Keeps it himself as Thorne goes ahead.
I just keep waiting for him on first down just to turn and give it to Jarquez Hunter.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Couple pass plays on first down. Obviously that last one to Cam Coleman, great play call, little play action, but man, get 27 going downhill. Good things
guy
happen.
Who was second team All-SEC a year ago. Perhaps an opportunity here on 2nd and 6. And there is the short pitch to Hunter as he tries to turn the corner. It'll be 3rd down from there at about the 32-yard line. Woody Washington and Des Malone on the tackle.
Yeah, just really tough against this defense to go laterally. All right, they're so fast, the team speed. Woody Washington making a great play there after getting beat by Cam Coleman a couple plays ago. If you're running the football against this Oklahoma defense, it's got to be vertical. You got to get north and south as quick as possible. They're fast. Too many guys that are just erasers on that side of the ball.
3rd down and 3 for Peyton Thorne and the Tigers offense. Thorne with time. Gonna take a shot downfield, and that ball's in the hands of KLS. Touchdown, Auburn.
Boy, their best receiver, Keandre Lambert-Smith, working on Des Malone. Heck of a throw. Actually, a little pump fake by Peyton Thorne, was able to recover and deliver a strike. And that's really been probably the weakest part of Peyton Thorne's game. Throw the interceptions out the window for a second. They haven't been able to push the ball downfield with a ton of effectiveness. A big one there when they needed it.
After that long drive where they came up empty, Towns Magoo gets the extra point. It was more quick strike this time. 4 plays, 72 yards, and the 31-yard beauty ball to Keandre Lambert-Smith. And we got a tie. Peyton Thorne, the touchdown pass moments ago. What a difference the transfer from Penn State has made. KLS. Last week against Arkansas, it had 156 yards and 2 touchdowns, and here the big strike.
Yeah, not just the go-to receiver, but he's brought a lot of leadership to that young, talented wide receiver room, which anytime your quarterback is struggling as well, you need a voice in that room to kind of steady the ship, and he's done a great job of that.
By the way, he's Cam Chancellor's nephew, the former Seahawks legend.
He was pretty good.
Katie.
Yeah, Tess, Brent Venables has spent some time with both OU quarterbacks today on the sidelines. There's no doubt Jackson Arnold is frustrated, but I'm told he's handled this week with class. As much as he wants to be out there helping his team, he understands the situation. Brent Venables said 2 things can be true. Against Tennessee, he was squeezing the ball, forcing things, and he also wasn't getting a ton of help from his teammates. But he's also been told it's a long season. How you handle this situation will be a defining moment in your career. So far, I've heard he's done a really nice job this week helping Mike Hawkins get prepared for this game.
Jordan, I turned to you on the Jackson Arnold thing earlier this week. I said, what's the deal? You said, listen, indecisive. He was seeing ghosts against Tennessee.
Yeah. And he, like Katie said, wasn't helping him out around him, but they just needed a change, and so far it's been good with Michael Hawkins Jr.
And here is the guy who is that change as he quickly gets it out, and Hawkins to Thompson, and Thompson again with yards after the catch. First down, Sooners.
And Jackson, watching him on the sideline, he's engaged in every conversation when Brent Venables and the quarterbacks are over there watching the iPad and going over the last drive. He's leaning in all over it, helmet on, listening to play calls right now. Still a really talented kid with a lot of good football ahead of him.
Thompson went for 15 yards. Hawkins is 3 for 3, 31 yards passing. Of course, the dynamic 48-yard touchdown run. Going to set up the screen. He does so to Sharp, and the big athletic tight end breaking tackles and going ahead for 8.5 yards.
Boy, and the screen game has kind of been the rushing attack for Oklahoma. They're really struggling just turning and handing the football off. That offensive line has been banged up. So Seth Luttrell mentioned down on the field to me before the game, we got to get the screen game going. We got to take some heat off this offensive line, get these big Auburn defensive linemen to move sideline to sideline, and good one right there.
Seth Luttrell, former head coach at North Texas, but now one of the prize gets as an offensive play caller here at Oklahoma. 2nd and 2. Barnes straight ahead, crossing midfield, first down, Sooners.
We are noticing a lot more just handoff screens, not many RPOs, something Brent Venables said he wanted to see less of from this offense.
Hawkins on first down, somehow stays alive for the moment, and then desperately throwing it. You can hear the reaction from the crowd. Flag is down, by the way, deep at the 35-yard line. And now they will place that flag down where Hawkins threw the ball away in desperation.
Well, I think there's going to be a pass interference call where Michael Hawkins Jr. wanted to throw it.
There are fouls by each team on the play. Holding, defense, number 23. Intentional grounding, offense, number 9. Those fouls offset. Repeat, first down.
You saw the reaction by Hugh Freeze. Like, we got after him. We chased him down. We got the intentional grounding, but then Jake Crawford, the true freshman.
Yeah, Hawkins looking to his left, trying to get Reagans, getting pulled down by another true freshman, Jake Crawford, and that causes Mike Hawkins Jr. See him looking to the left, one to hit that. It's not there. Starts to panic a little bit. And then as he's going down, that's just something that takes more than a couple drives in your career to realize. Just eat it there, lose 5 yards instead of head backwards even further.
Hawkins Plenty of time, and then has to make a decision to scoot ahead, and only goes for a couple yards before Eugene Asante is able to wrap him up. He is the heart and soul of this defense.
Yeah, and he was a spy on that one for Michael Hawkins Jr. We talked to DJ Durkin, right? On third downs and passing situations, who do you spy him with? Is it a secondary guy? Is it a guy like Eugene Asante? Right there, just getting eyes on the quarterback, making sure you don't give him those running lanes.
One of the most venerable, well-traveled defensive coordinators in the SEC, DJ Durkin. Second down and 9. They go with the inside tunnel screen. Petaway actually bounces it to the outside where he's run down after a gain of just a few. So obviously blocked for the inside tunnel. He had to bounce it to the outside.
Yeah, just really good pursuit from this Auburn secondary on the inside. Maybe would have got a couple yards if he would have stuck it right up in there trying to make a play. And with no Deion Burks, Petaway is really that go-to dynamic receiver. They want to get opportunities with him and the ball in space. Especially here on third down, you're going to see him at the top of your screen. Right there.
Third down and 7. The slant is incomplete. He was looking for Jake Roberts, and the defense gets the stop. Caleb Harris there defensively.
That's just a really good job by Harris, trying to squeeze in a slant route to Roberts. Ball is accurate. It's on time. The defense is just better, getting the right hand in there and breaking it up. Great timing there. So many times you see that DB go a little early or get an arm or snag something that time. Right on the money for the pass breakup.
Elzinga looking for the pin. And it checks up and then goes the opposite direction, so it'll be around the 19-yard line where Auburn will take over. A beautiful
SEC on ABC, presented by Burger King, is brought to you by Allstate and the Allstate AFCA Good Works team, recognizing the athletes for their good work off the field. Visit ESPN.com/Allstate to learn more.
That's the bald eagle named Independence, the very symbol and spirit of Auburn. And a great tradition that is kept alive each and every home game. War Eagle battle cry heard before kickoff every time you're here. You only got 2 Eagles. They got Aurea and Independence, and they don't decide who flies until they take a look at the wing patterns. So Independence got the call today.
Kind of how you handle quarterbacks sometimes.
Pretty much. Here's Alston on the carries. He goes ahead for 3 yards.
Who's got the hot hand, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of how Hugh
Which
Freeze,
way the wind is blowing.
Yeah, it's kind of how Hugh Freeze has really handled this situation. Last couple weeks, especially after benching Thorne and then went to Hank Brown. He struggled and back to Thorne, and I think he's really just looking for consistency. And I've loved Thorne so far because when a quarterback is throwing interceptions, what you don't want is him to start to be hesitant and not take the chances when they're there. He's taking shots and taking chances, and he's getting this offense going.
So Hank Brown over on the sidelines looking in at Peyton Thorne. He gets to start today. 2nd and 7. Alston, he is tackled for a loss by Kip Lewis.
Jeez, but Danny Stutzman really made that play. Just came right through the A-gap, turned that run back into the inside. I'll tell you what, Stutzman didn't have, I think he only had like 3 tackles against Tennessee, but he was in on every play. I mean, the stats sometimes don't just tell you the impact that 28 has on the game.
That's a great example there. A guy who, by the way, was basically off to the NFL, and then he was talking to Coach Venables, and he said, I want to experience year 1 in the SEC with Oklahoma. 3rd down and 9. Big chance for Stutzman and that Sooners defense. They're going to keep it on the ground, and they're going to get it on 3rd and 9. How about that call by Hugh Freeze? Alston with a 9-yard run.
Boy, 3rd and 9, this is just a great call because you're going to get a really light box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to see that safety bail out. You got a tight end lead block, and the numbers were there, and that's a great call by Hugh Freeze.
Trace Ford, the defensive end, is slow to get up. The medical staff is out to check on him. And transferred in from Oklahoma State. Redshirt senior. He's part of that rotation of that outstanding defensive front for Oklahoma. Of course, the big story here at Auburn, we talked about the quarterback situation, but the turnovers, especially after last week and the loss to Arkansas, as 4 interceptions were thrown by the Auburn quarterbacks. This is what Hugh Freeze had to say this week.
I know that there's people open, and I know that we're running the football. And we got to find a guy that won't throw it to the other team. And we got to find running backs that hold on to it.
I love the honesty. We like to complicate football a lot of times. Sometimes it's like, hey, you should have thrown it here and you threw it to the other team. And I watched film actually on Friday yesterday with Hugh Freeze in his office, just going through some of those things. He's like, you know, this is what I'm trying to get my quarterbacks to see. Don't make the play that is the difficult one. Make the play that's right in front of you. And I think that's what he needs to see out of Peyton Thorne.
What's that experience like with Coach Freeze the day before a game when you're sitting there with the clipper, just the two of you watching film?
I love it. That's what I miss about playing, is being in the film room, just talking ball. You know, he took a ton of ownership, too. He's like, look, I got to call some better plays. And we went through a couple scenarios where the call could have been better. But there's a lot of decision-making that needs to improve from the quarterback position. This team doesn't have an offensive problem. They're one of the best in the country in yards per play. They just got a turnover problem right now. But so far in this game, played a clean game.
This is after the 9-yard run by Alston. First down. They go with the tap pass to Cobb. And Cobb tries to get upfield before he is met by a pair of Sooners defenders. You know, speaking of Hugh Freeze and all of this, like a soundbite like that gets attention. People are like, oh, he's pointing to the players, he's making excuses. He says, I don't even follow social media or any of the media narratives. He goes, I need my children. I need Reagan or Jordan or Madison to even let me know what people are saying. The guy doesn't even know how to sign on to his computer half the time.
He didn't know how to sign into his film. I was sitting there, his office assistant had to come in to sign him into film. So you're right, but there's not a blame. He's not throwing quarterbacks under the bus. He's just, hey, this is what happens in football. Sometimes the call's bad, sometimes the decision's bad.
2nd and 6. Thorne, quick strike to the outside. Turning the corner is Lambert Smith. Remember, he had the 31-yard touchdown earlier.
That was a nice little decision there by Peyton Thorne on an RPO, a run-pass option. One of the things that me and Hugh Freeze watched more than anything. The numbers got to be right. Peyton hasn't been great in deciding to hand it off or throw it. That time, just man-to-man coverage. Corner bailed, and a really good pitch and catch, an easy pitch and catch for the first down.
See Danny Stutzman and Ethan Downs and that front for Oklahoma looking to contain Auburn here before halftime. 6.5 minutes to go before we get to Kevin and Booger in a wild day already in the SEC. They'll get you up to speed on what happened with Kentucky and Ole Miss. Alston, good chunk play for Auburn past midfield.
Boy, Jeremiah Wright, big 77, 6'5", 333. Watch this block. He's going to climb and get a little kick out. Right there on Billy Bowman. Come on now. That is a great job, because that's not the guy he's supposed to block. He's supposed to work upfield. A great job of having vision from the big man and getting the key block.
Thorne on first down, going to take a shot again, and he nails it! Malcolm Simmons, how do you do, young man? A 48-yard strike from Peyton Thorne to the fast Malcolm Simmons.
Boy, and it's a great job getting Billy Bowman, the safety, out of position. Watch Camden Brown push it up and take it here, and that's going to take Billy Bowman out of center field, or out of that half of the...
Well, who's ready to go there and see Carson Beck and Jalen Milroe to see Bama and Georgia? Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One will be coming up tonight on ABC. And what a clash of the Titans this will be in T-Town.
little revenge game for Carson Beck after what happened in the SEC Championship last year. Milroe got the best of him. I think we're going to see the best version of Carson Beck tonight.
Sam Franklin from the 3-yard line. And Franklin's taken down about the 23-yard line. Coverage where it counts is presented by T-Mobile 5G home internet.
Yeah, anytime you have a quarterback that's turned the ball over a lot, what you don't want is for him to hesitate, and that has not been Peyton Thorne tonight. This afternoon, he has stared down the barrel and delivered strike after strike downfield on the money for a guy that got benched, that lost his job, to come back and respond like this in that deep post to the talented freshman Malcolm Simmons to cap it off. As good of a performance as you could want from your veteran quarterback.
Things have changed after that opening touchdown drive by Oklahoma. Michael Hawkins, the true freshman, gets the call. He's going to keep it himself and try to get to the outside. A little there, but after that opening touchdown drive, he had the 48-yard touchdown run. That is now the 13th play. They only have 27 yards since that point, and they're 0 for 3 on 3rd down.
Yeah, the field is condensing. Oklahoma as a whole has not been able to stretch the field vertically with all the injuries at wide receiver. So look how close to the line of scrimmage all these Auburn safeties and corners are playing. They're not respecting the deep passing game, and they're selling out for the run and the perimeter screens.
That was the tough part for a true freshman, checking at the line in a road game in this league. Barnes on 2nd and 8 as Barnes spins to the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd down from there.
I do like how Seth Littrell is starting to spread the field a little bit. Anytime you've got a young quarterback, the more you spread it, the more simple it gets, the more you can see the structure of the defense, especially here on 3rd down. I got to think you use Michael Hawkins Jr.'s legs on 3rd and short here. It's a great box count for a quarterback draw. Nobody here in the middle of the field.
Third and 3. Can he do it with his legs? Directing traffic. Cannot turn the corner at all. Coming up with the stop was DeMarcus Riddick, the true freshman from Clinton, Alabama.
Boy, and just great coverage on the back end by Auburn. And I mentioned that green grass in the middle of the field. Well, the linebackers dropped off, and they spied Hawkins Jr. to make sure. See that? They're going to pop out here and then spy the young quarterback to make sure he can't pick up a cheap gain on 3rd and short. And just great coverage across the board. Again, that's going to be a storyline. Oklahoma down receivers trying to find somebody that can separate.
Luke Elzinga punted 7 times against Tennessee last week. This is 4th already today. Scott on the return from the 23. He goes straight upfield on a good decision as he makes it out to the 32-yard line. Let's look at the Taco Bell Live Más section, one of the great student sections in all of college football. And all season long, student sections across the great country are competing to be the Taco Bell Live Más student section of the year. You can download the Taco Bell app to learn more.
They've been getting after it. Student section was over at SEC Nation earlier this morning, making some noise.
Were roaring behind you and Laura and Paul and Tim. That was a scene at SEC Nation. Peyton Thorne. Keep it on the ground with Jarquez Hunter. Not much there. Of course, Peyton Thorne now 2 touchdown passes today, 171 yards.
And a really important drive here for this Oklahoma defense and leader Danny Stutzman. They had a players-only meeting in the locker room after the Tennessee loss, bringing everybody together, realizing, hey, we're going to have to lean on this defense with the offense where it is. This is a drive. They got to stop the momentum that Auburn has right now. Give their offense a chance to tie this one up before half.
There's Stutzman opposite Peyton Thorne. 2nd down and 9. Flag is down as Thorne goes ahead, and Thorne is tackled by Kobe McKenzie.
Offside. Defense number 56. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
Grayson Holton, the junior defensive tackle, was flagged there.
And again, that's that double clap, right? Trying to get a picture from the defense, change the play if you need to. That time got him to jump. We're really seeing this Auburn team slow the tempo down. Not just here on this drive, but the last couple drives. Not the usual fast break offense we're used to seeing. Get to the line of scrimmage, run a play. Really being methodical.
2nd and 4 after the penalty. Fakes the short pitch. Thorne looking for a block from his receiver, and in doing so, he should have the line to gain. Well trafficked by Peyton Thorne.
And I love the decision. Had a crossing route that was mirroring him as he ran to the right. It was double covered. That's a throw that maybe Thorne forces 2 weeks ago, and that's where those turnovers pop up. You're going to see tight end coming across the face there. Danny Stutzman underneath, so don't force it. Don't try to squeeze one on the back shoulder. Use your legs. Pick up a first down. That's some growth there from the veteran quarterback.
Auburn in control as we have reached the 2-minute timeout. First time Oklahoma's ever been here. Monday night football games. Titans-Dolphins at 7:15. Seahawks-Lions 8 p.m. on ABC. So Titans-Dolphins is on ESPN. Then you got Seahawks-Lions on ABC.
How about the way Sam Darnold is kind of having a resurgence?
There's some great locker room footage of the reaction to him as the sun comes out and Peyton Thorne takes it across midfield. Katie.
Tess, remember, Hugh Freeze told us just yesterday, Auburn got crushed in time of possession against Arkansas last week. So that was a point of emphasis coming in today. So slowing down that tempo that Jordan mentioned really helps achieve that.
That's a great point by Katie.
And it helps you get in more perfect plays. We're used to seeing Auburn line up and have RPOs, and that's where you put the decision-making on your quarterback. Now, get a look over to Hugh Freeze and get in a better play, and your quarterback doesn't have to make those decisions.
Here's Thorne on 2nd and 1, runs ahead for the first down. They're in good position to add to this lead before halftime. 3 timeouts remaining. Katie mentioned time of possession. Here is the time of possession in this first half so far.
Yeah, now you want to pick up the urgency just a little bit. You got the timeouts in your pocket.
He was 1 of 4 for no yards to start the game. 8 of 10, 171 since, and add to it as KLS spins for a first down, and Auburn is in business with 6.4 seconds remaining until we get it to Kevin and Booger.
And he's just playing with so much confidence. He looks like a completely different quarterback. The ball's coming out of his hands clean. He's not hesitating on these decisions. That's a great job letting that ball go early, anticipating that your receiver's going to turn on that hitch route, and he did. And
maybe a chance for Towns Magoo for a field goal attempt. So Thorne, the last 3 plays, a 9-yard run, an 8-yard run, and that 11-yard pass reception of KLS. And now a first down.
I can tell you they're not thinking field goal. They want to punch this one in, make a statement.
Jarquez Hunter. Remember, they do have 3 timeouts.
Here's where you might use one.
And with the timeout, let's check in with Kevin in the studio.
Best State Farm halftime report minutes away. Booger McFarland, Kevin Nagani here. We're going to get you ready for that prime time showdown in Tuscaloosa as Alabama hosts Georgia later on tonight on ABC. Meanwhile, a stunner in Oxford, number 6 Ole Miss goes down. The Kentucky highlights coming your way. What are you seeing right now on the game control with Auburn keep away from Oklahoma's offense?
Yeah, Auburn's doing a really good job of running the football. And if you're the Oklahoma offense, what are you going to do? You make the change from Jackson Arnold to Michael Hawkins. You see the explosive run, but what else is there? They got to get more than the quarterback run in this game.
Time of possession, the key. You guys discussed that. We will see you at the half. Back to you, Tess.
Looking forward to it, Kev and Book. By the way, that Kentucky defense today holding Jackson Dart to just 1 touchdown pass.
And a couple weeks ago, holding Georgia to just 13 points, even though they lost that one by 1. Kentucky's the real deal on defense.
Coach Brad White. 2nd and 3 after the timeout. Thorne, ball comes loose. And diving ahead and jumping on it, Auburn's able to recover as Thorne was quick to get to that.
Boy,
that was Trace Ford.
Trace Ford Such a great get off coming on the speed rush on the outside to Thorne's right. And almost a disaster for this Auburn offense.
Pressured, survives it, and then is taken down for the sack. That was McKenzie getting in against Peyton Thorne.
You're going to see just an inside pass rush this time, bringing pressure down this way. And right now, Auburn, I feel like trying to hit those chunk plays to the field. You got 2 timeouts. You can use the middle of the field, right? Get something going to green grass.
Timeout was exhausted there. 37 seconds. We're actually getting a replay review here momentarily. I'm trying to find out if they're possibly taking a look at the play previous, Jordan.
Yeah, that ball gets knocked out of Peyton Thorne's hand. Well, I guess it was the set. Did a ball come out on that one?
That was Auburn's second timeout, 30 seconds in length.
Oh.
It's second down.
That's it. Clean and simple.
Okay.
Just the second timeout is used. So it's going to be 2nd and 16. 37 seconds remain. Auburn will have 1 timeout as the ball's on the 25-yard line. So obviously plenty of range for Towns Magoo. If they want the field goal, we'll see if they can get a little more here as they can manage these final 37 seconds coming off of the timeout.
Cam Coleman one-on-one on the backside, if you like it.
Hunter straight ahead inside the 20-yard line. That was on 2nd and 16 with 1 timeout remaining as the clock continues to tick down. And now a timeout will be used here. The game started off with the decision to start the true freshman quarterback, making Oklahoma and their coaches look brilliant, Michael Hawkins.
And he didn't take long to make a statement. The long touchdown run on his first 3rd down on the Plains, but it was Peyton Thorne that had the answer. And this Auburn offense has really answered every time they've had the ball here in the 2nd quarter. Thorne has been fantastic, finding Malcolm Simmons, the true freshman, for the long touchdown. And now again, trying to put points on the board before halftime.
So he had KLS for the 31-yard touchdown. He had Simmons for the 48-yard touchdown. And there is Michael Hawkins, who got off to such a great start. Only 5 of 6 passing for 41 yards, was sacked, but the 48-yard touchdown run by Hawkins. That is the highlight of the day so far for the Sooners. Hugh Freeze's offense has found themselves here as we close in for halftime. Kevin and Booger will get us all set for Bama and Georgia. Tell you everything you need to know that's happened so far in the SEC and beyond. 3rd down and 10.
I think they're going to take a shot to the end zone here, bringing a tight end for a little more protection.
Need it quick to the outside, and tackled right away is KLS. And remember, no timeouts. They're going to be quick to the line as Towns Magoo, as they go with the fire drill field goal attempt. Snap, hold, kick, and it is no good. And I don't know that those final seconds were managed all that well, Jordan.
I hate the play call.
A flag comes in on what was technically 4th and 5.
Boy, they may get bailed out with a penalty here, but I don't like the play call. Throw it to the end zone so at least it's a touchdown or the clock stops. Instead, you got a fire drill.
Illegal substitution. Defense. 12 players on the field.
Wow.
The 5-yard penalty results in the 1st down.
Does that ever save Auburn? They go with a fire drill field goal and mismanaging the clock, and because of that, it's a missed field goal. But the penalty on Oklahoma in all the midst of the chaos.
Yeah, 12 on the field there.
So Towns Magoo now gets a reset. He can line it up. He can take his time. The true freshman who's in for the injured Alex McPherson, who has missed the entire season, he would be the starting kicker. But Towns Magoo, the true freshman, in his place with zeros on the clock because of the defensive penalty. The 27-yard attempt. And it is still no good. Wow. And that is the reality sometimes of being a true freshman in this kind of a spot. 27-yard field goal missed.
See the snap and hold, snap good, hold, laces away.
Yeah, he came to the stadium here in Auburn, Alabama, with two tradition-rich power programs that have only met 2 times before. Those were Sugar Bowls. Now we get a true, intense SEC road game for the Oklahoma Sooners at Auburn. 14-7. Peyton Thorne, the Auburn starting quarterback today, with 2 touchdown passes, but Oklahoma will receive here in the second half. And that defense of Auburn, boy, they really got after it after that opening, Sooner.
Yeah, they've been swarming. The long run by Mike Hawkins, and other than that, they've pretty much stifled everything. A lot of eyes on the young, talented, dual-threat quarterback to make sure he doesn't escape like he did on that first drive, and then the coverage on the back end as well. Just no windows to throw the football, and again, spying the quarterback every third down to make sure his legs don't pick up a first.
The opening drive, they went 68 yards and had a touchdown. At Oklahoma, you see the second quarter dominance by Auburn. Since that opening drive, Michael Hawkins in this offense, 15 plays and only 43 points. Barnes on the ground. He is met right in the hole that time, as filling it was Caleb Wooden.
You know, on one side we got a veteran quarterback in Peyton Thorne having a little bit of a resurgence this game. On this side for Oklahoma, we got a true freshman quarterback that's realizing after that first drive, it's not all sunshine and rainbows in the SEC. It gets difficult, and you got to be able to make plays when they're there, but this defense has really taken away every opportunity. So
we mentioned it, Jordan. Just the 7th Oklahoma quarterback in their great history to start as a true freshman is Hawkins today. 2nd and 8. He's going to show off the arm, but it's too far beyond Brennan Thompson.
Wow, first time we've really seen Oklahoma and Michael Hawkins Jr. stretch the field vertically, and he had him there. That's one thing you learn as a quarterback, is just leave it on the field. A 50-50 jump ball is way better than it landing out of bounds, and missed a big one there.
Third and 8, Hawkins scrambling, extending, now tucking, looking to run. He took a big hit. Converging there were Jaron Thompson and DeMarcus Riddick.
Boy, and again, great coverage on the left side, trying to work a man concept. DB's had it plastered, so Michael Hawkins is going to take off with his legs, and
flag is down at the 40-yard line.
I said swarming earlier. Auburn has been all over Hawkins Jr. since that first long run, and a big hit right here.
Holding defense number 0. The 10-yard penalty is added to the end of the run and includes an automatic first down.
That's Keontae Scott, the cornerback.
Well, I said plastered, right, about the coverage. Maybe a little too well.
Yeah, plastered. They came with a flag. And with that, it'll be a first down for Oklahoma.
Jaron Thompson, the safety for Auburn, a little shaken up after that hit as well. It's another thing you'll learn as a young quarterback, man. You got to save your body when you can. Get down if you're able to.
Quick to the outside. Hawkins incomplete. Couldn't connect with Petaway. Now remember, they are absent so many of their top pass catchers. Nick Anderson and Anthony and Deion Burks. They are missing so much of that wide receiver room. 2nd down and 10. Freshman having to check on the line. and the decibel level increases. Hawkins, pressure on him, sets up the screen, but the tight end Sharp is gobbled up right away. Auburn all over it with Eugene Asante.
Wow, Eugene Asante read this one from Jump Street. Just another great job on a screen. Watch him right here, just sit, and then attack as that screen develops. With Bauer Sharp there on the right side, slips right underneath the block of Branson Hickman, the center, and makes a huge stop.
3rd and 11. Hawkins retreating and has to throw it away. The initial pressure came from McLeod, as well as Riddick.
When you watch this develop, there's just nowhere to throw the football. This Auburn team under defensive coordinator DJ Durkin playing a ton more man coverage, and watch these receivers trying to work, trying to find an opening, but just where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? Great coverage across the board forces the young quarterback to scramble out of the pocket once again.
There's DJ Durkin. He's always got his son Luke by his side in these home games here in Auburn. What a great ones through the years coaching defense in the league. Bolzinga on to punt again for the 5th time. Scott at the 12. He fields it in traffic and has a good return out to the 23. Katie.
Yeah, Tess, I spoke with Hugh Freeze coming out at half, and I asked him, what do you like about Peyton Thorne's play so far? And he said, it's going to sound simple, but he's taking care of the football. He said he's not forcing the issue. He's playing clean, no turnovers thus far. He said what's unfortunate is the score could be 24-7 if they're able to punch it in on the goal line and they don't miss that field goal just before half. He said we are still very much in a battle here.
That's part of the red zone, right? Finishing those drives. I think it's one thing Hugh Freeze mentioned when we talked to him yesterday. We don't have a problem moving the football. We have a turnover problem and then not finishing drives in the red zone when we get the opportunity.
Just before, it was flagged, by the way, at the end of that punt. Just before halftime, the mismanagement in the final 25-ish seconds with the 2 missed field goal opportunities, and then the 13-play drive.
Taking Peyton Thorne off the field, bringing your Wildcat quarterback in and getting stopped on 4th and 1.
That was down at the goal line. This will be the worst Auburn starting field position today as the ball is cresting on the 6-yard line.
This is where this Oklahoma defense has got to take things into their own hands. Your offense is struggling. You lead the country in takeaways. This is where you need one of those.
Jarquez Hunter revving that engine, lowering the shoulder, and 11.5 yards on a 1st down, Auburn.
Another great block by Jeremiah Wright, the guard. Just a simple little power. He's going to come and kick out, and it's a big boy in Jarquez Hunter on Robert Spears Jr. Low man wins.
To basics with Hunter as that offensive line drives the pile out to the 22-yard line.
Well, and that's why when you watch the tape back from a game like last week for Auburn, you're like, how do you only give Jarquez Hunter 12 carries?
Right.
Like, good things happen when the ball is in 27's hands. And it's falling forward for 2, 3, 4 yards at times when the blocking's not perfect.
10 carries now today, 45 yards for Hunter.
And again, feel the pace. 13, 12 seconds on that play clock. Auburn really taking their time on these drives.
Thorne coming back for the ball was Cam Coleman, the true freshman who one of the biggest recruits in the country, dealing with a shoulder injury, and you're starting to see what he's capable of.
And you love to see him catch the ball on a curl route like that, because the very first drive on 3rd down dropped a would-be 1st down on his first target of the game. So as a young guy, a quarterback showing that trust in you again, coming back to you, having the opportunity to catch one and convert. That builds the confidence.
These two freshman receivers they have, Coleman and then Simmons had the 48-yard touchdown. Watch out in the coming years on the outside with Auburn. Play clock down to 1. Hunter straight ahead. This is the kind of drive that he wants. He talked this week about the workload he desires. He said, I want to have those high school kind of memories where it's fun, where you just make the opportunity time and again.
Jeremiah Wright is just blowing holes open. I'm just messing with my telly right here. He's the right guard right there, number 77. I kept hitting the wrong button on that test. I was trying to show you big man is just plowing the road for Jarquez Hunter right now.
He's been in the program for 4 years. He was actually on the defensive line for a year before they moved him back to the offensive line as a penalty flag will come in.
Illegal substitution, offense, 12 players in the huddle. 5-yard penalty, second down.
I don't want to say a vanilla look from this Oklahoma defense, but they haven't been forcing the issue a ton, right? These methodical drives, at some point you feel like you got to dial up the pressure, try to force the issue, force one of those turnovers that they're so known for.
2nd and 8. Tackled by Kip Lewis. Alston couldn't find much there.
And maybe here on a 3rd and passing situation, that's where you see does Oklahoma decide to bring some pressure here or sit back and play coverage.
Danny Stutzman, projected high pick in next year's NFL draft. Third down and 7. Here's Thorne with time. Shot downfield to an open man, but he throws it to the outside of Cam Coleman. If that is laid out to a post, he may house it.
Yeah, and that's maybe an adjustment error by Cam Coleman. They're trying to hit a sail route to number 14, Robert Lewis, in the slot, and that route by Coleman on the outside here against man coverage, I think sometimes that converts to a go route, and I think that's what Peyton Thorne is thinking, not the post route. Right. You got man just take it off, and you see the frustration with the young receiver on the outside. Just a miscommunication on that one.
Yeah, that thing's a 9, and he's housing it.
Yep.
Great special teams coverage. Flag comes down. See if he got there early that time. And you see Simmons saying, what's wrong? I'm doing my job. Was that fair catch called that went unnoticed? I think maybe he called a fair catch, and it went unnoticed by the unit. Let's see if he gets that hand up.
Kick catch
there it is.
Kicking team number 11. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul. It'll be first down, Oklahoma. Timeout.
Take a break. Oklahoma trailing by a touchdown when we return.
Well, guys, Peyton Thorne has been very active on this Auburn sideline ever since the disconnect on the downfield throw. You saw him there talking to Hugh Freeze. He spoke with every position group, but spent a lot of time with the wide receivers trying to work out some things. Active, and he was very frustrated when he came off the field. Hugh Freeze told him, you got to relax, settle down, we'll get it right the next drive.
Javante Barnes. Good run by Barnes. And Oklahoma with a good start to this drive.
And again, going back to that last play, I think just a miscommunication. Cam Coleman at the bottom of your screen on the left side, gonna beat the DB. Peyton Thorne thinking he's just gonna take the top off with a 9 route, a vertical, instead goes to the post. He's going, hey, give me your eyes. I'm throwing that downfield.
Barnes this time not much there at all as Jason Jones made the tackle.
Sometimes that gray area that you have to operate in as a quarterback at this level, when you're a young receiver, it just takes a little bit more to get up to speed and on the same page.
Barnes Driving ahead for maybe 2 yards. It'll be 3rd down from there. Mausi makes the tackle in the middle of that defense for Auburn. And you know that that section is about to roar for a 3rd down.
Auburn showing pressure. They're trying to sort out protection here with a few seconds left on this play clock.
The true freshman Hawkins on 3rd and 5. Can he do it with his legs? Extra drive gets it done. 1st down, Oklahoma.
Boy, I love the play call. It looks like pressure. Auburn ends up dropping out of it, but you just run a little quarterback draw. Auburn had 2 guys trying to spy there after popping back out, but both guys had blockers right on them. A great call there by Seth Littrell. And now this is that momentum. This is the confidence that you need as a young quarterback. Get on the plus side of the territory. Make a play with your legs, and now see if you can't get something going through the air.
That's only their 2nd 3rd down that they've converted today. And a timeout is going to be used by Oklahoma. We'll take a short break. Can they continue this march down the field? We find out when we return to the SEC on ABC. Well, you look at the recent great history of Oklahoma quarterbacks. We could speed date through this thing, right? Because Baker got in there, won a Heisman Trophy in 2017, and then Kyler Murray wins the Heisman in 2018. Jalen Hurts, he was right in the mix, a Heisman finalist in 2019. Familiar face, and Dylan Gabriel, of course. You talk Dylan Gabriel, you got to mention that he potentially goes to Oregon. There's the duck. Get rid of the duck. Why is there a chicken in the background? And now, this year, it was Jackson Arnold, who's the 5-star, but now it's Michael Hawkins, who's, at least in the first moments today, the current star, and maybe the future, the true freshman. How will this whole thing play out? It's happening in real time in front of us.
Yeah, I still think it's to be determined. Jackson Arnold was the heir apparent. I did the bowl game, the Alamo Bowl. It wasn't a perfect night for him, but he showed poise and talent. The future looked really bright and just hit a rough spot to start this season for a number of reasons. And now it's Michael Hawkins' turn to see if he can't get things going.
And off the timeout, a struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage for Javante Barnes, the running back. 6.5 minutes to play here. A touchdown lead for Auburn. Joe Tessitore with Jordan Rogers as Jesse Palmer is on his other assignment for the letters A, B, and C.
One of the many assignments.
That's right. Happy to have you with us, Jordan. Katie down on the field. 2nd down and 8. Oh, nearly a miscommunication as the flag comes in, but it was Brennan Thomas coming in motion across just as the snap came.
Yeah, these are the little things.
False start. Offense number 2. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Michael Hawkins Jr. having some words with his center, Branson Hickman, about timing up this motion. You can see he asked for it, right? He asked for it. That point there is for Hickman to snap the ball. It's late and almost a really bad play there. If that hits Brennan Thompson or whatnot, you're almost okay with a false start there instead of what could be worse.
It could be a turnover that you can't afford. Trailing by only 7. 2nd and 13. Hawkins looks right, looks left, now runs, keeps his footing, and nearly made a man miss as a flag reins in at the 25-yard line. It was Jalen McLeod, the defensive player that we mentioned.
During the run, illegal block in the back. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat 2nd down.
It's the receiver, Petaway.
Yeah, Petaway just trying to help his young quarterback out. You're going to see him coming to your screen right here on Asante. It was not much. But anytime you stick your hands out to the backside of a defender, they're going to see that. They're going to throw it.
2nd and 18 after the penalty. Hawkins with time for now. And able to connect as he gets it to Hester. And Hester keeps his footing, and look at that effort by J.J. Hester. First down, Oklahoma.
And J.J. Hester's a guy they've been wanting to get going. The 6'4", fifth-year senior had some drops earlier this year, but a big one here to convert a desperately needed explosive play. Cornerback there, the true freshman, he's trying to midpoint over the top of Petaway. Leaves J.J. Hester in the flats there. Flat defender, too late getting over there. But a great job by this young quarterback of keeping the play alive.
That play went for 21 yards.
58 seconds, 4-5-8.
They're reviewing the spot of this ball. As it stands, it's only the second play of 20-plus yards for Oklahoma today.
And you're going to see his knee right here is going to come down. How close does it get? Does it touch? Oh, yeah. Maybe a blade of grass. Oh, come on. You don't think that touched?
Listen, I'm not CSI forensic science of turf here. It's a tough look. Let's see. Yeah, that looks like it touches. I mean, you're better at this thing than I am.
You know?
Let's just cut to it.
I was out there. It's beautiful grass, by the way. It is just gorgeous down on the field before. So the spot's going to probably be right around the 23, 24-yard line there. We'll back him up about 5 yards or so. But when you have so many receivers out, sometimes a play like that just builds confidence. J.J. Hester had a couple drops earlier in the season. He's a guy that everyone's been saying he's going to get going. They just don't know when. A big play like that can give some confidence to a guy they need desperately to step up for a receiver group that has been decimated by injury.
After video review, the ruling on the field stands. The result of the play is a first down.
I take it back. You are right, Tess.
But let's look at the AT&T connected cam for this replay again, as they say his knee wasn't down.
Wow. I mean, okay.
Well, here's the deal. You have to have the inconclusive video evidence that says his knee was down. So the ruling on the field is really critical here. Because had they say it was down, like either way, you're not over, you got to have the video evidence that supports it.
Kind of like that Miami-Virginia Tech game last night, except we saw him overturn that.
That was something last night, wasn't it? Waiting for that call to be adjudicated. So it is a first down as Hawkins goes to the end zone, and it's out of the back of the end zone, but the flag comes in. That was Cam Lee with coverage against Thompson. Lee against Thompson, and the flag comes in.
Pass interference. Defense number 4.
Kane Lee working on Brennan Thompson. A great job by Hawkins Jr. just giving his guy a chance. And again, you may be saying, was it catchable? The ball came in at a really low angle. You see here on the progressive pylon cam. I believe if he had his feet, could maybe jump and make that play, but it is borderline.
First and goal. Big moment for the Sooners here. Barnes cannot get free. He's tackled for a loss of 1. That was Walker getting to him. Matt Austin is our rules expert. What do you say about that pass interference?
I think the pass interference was a good call because they were a little handsy, but the defender definitely grabbed some shirt and was pulling him back where he couldn't get any elevation to try to jump. As far as the uncatchability, it's very subjective. If you think he could jump and catch the ball, then you say it's catchable. So,
by the way, Auburn red zone defense, opponents are only scoring 57% of the time. Meanwhile, Oklahoma in the red zone's 94% of the time. Hawkins is driven back.
Boy, and it was Jaron Thompson, the safety, really turning Hawkins back in. We saw him get banged up earlier in the game on that big hit on Hawkins. The last time we saw him scramble to his right. And now a massive third down here for Oklahoma.
And just listen to this. Listen to what playing on the road in the SEC sounds like. 3rd and goal. Flag is down as Barnes is in the end zone. We will check on the flag, and this will likely be walked back.
Building a motion, offense. Number 10 was moving forward at the snap. It's a 5-yard penalty, repeat, 3rd down.
We're going to dance this dance again. And Jordan Hare is ready to explode as their defense is trying to shut the door on the Sooners' effort. Michael Hawkins, the true freshman. He's got nowhere to go. It was to Marcus Riddick, the true freshman linebacker, with the stop. 4th down.
A huge stand there by Auburn. After the pass interference call gave Oklahoma perfect field position with the opportunity to punch it in. They hold strong inside the 5.
Beck Schmidt, who had been the starter the last few years, on for the field goal attempt.
And look at the coverage. Once again, just nobody, nowhere for Michael Hawkins Jr. to go with the football.
Tyler Keltner was the starting kicker. He's out. So Schmidt with experience with the attempts. And with that, he gets 3 more for the Sooners. And we've got a 14-10 game. And that Auburn red zone defense, we told you, among the very best in the country. They win the first battle of the game head-to-head with the Sooners. That big 3rd down stop. Closing minutes here of the 3rd quarter. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon of pressure-packed SEC ball, doesn't it? Hey, 7:30 tonight on ABC. Number 2 Georgia, number 4 Alabama. Oh, the tailgate is looking good in Tuscaloosa. I mean, but let me tell you something. Nothing like Chef David Bancroft's Aussie Wagyu tartar last night at Acre here in Auburn. Here is Cobb on the return. And Cobb keeps his footing. And is taken out of bounds, and we may have a face mask at the end of this play. It looked like it was pretty clear that they got the face mask of Jeremiah Cobb. Dude, you destroyed that Aussie Wagyu tartar with Chef David.
2 plates got put down, 1 on my side, 1 on yours. I had 3 bites. I looked over. Your plate was gone.
Oh, I'm not. Listen, I'm getting
you
after
probably
it.
housed 15 pieces of ribeye in about 2 minutes flat.
I'm not bashful when it comes to Acre Restaurant, Mom.
I wasn't even mad. I was impressed.
Personal foul.
That's amazing.
Face mask. Kicking team. 15-yard penalty. It's about a first down.
Listen, we mentioned Georgia and Bama. That's the headliner. Our college football rankings are brought to you by Prudential, but look at number 6 on that list.
Woo. Kentucky, that defense under Brad White is the real deal. Had Georgia only 13 points a couple weeks ago. Shut down Ole Miss. And how about Texas? Just 14-6 at Mississippi State at Texas right now.
I mean, look at this. Director Jeff Evers just making America go ooh and ah right there with the binky, the Auburn binky.
She's loving some football today.
Oh.
She's loving some Peyton Thorne.
First down. Here is Thorne. Gets it quickly to Simmons. Simmons can turn it on. Remember, he had the 48-yard touchdown earlier today. Eli Bowen, the true freshman, with the tackle.
I think here with 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, 4-point lead, we're going to start to understand just how much Hugh Freeze trusts his quarterback right now. Quarterback that threw 4 interceptions against Cal, 3 of them in the second half. Right now, Auburn can move the football. If they stay clean, don't turn it over, got a good chance of closing this one out in the 4th quarter, but it's all on Peyton Thorne.
2nd and 6. Thorne, play action. Going to take a shot downfield. And jumping up and getting it is Cam Coleman. Just out-muscling, out-hustling. Cam Coleman with the big explosive downfield.
And you know what I love? Early eyes. What was Peyton Thorne asking him? Give me your eyes. Look at turns. Is it going to be a back shoulder? It's going to be over the top. Got his eyes back to his quarterback so he could adjust to the ball. A great throw and a great job by a true freshman at fixing a problem. You just made a mistake a few drives ago. You come back and make a big play doing exactly what your quarterback asked you to do.
42-yard reception for Cam Coleman. Sky is the limit for what this guy will do in his football career, and it's just getting started a month in as the right tackle Miller is down at the end of that play.
I mean, Cam Coleman is the highest rated signee of Freeze's 11 years as a head coach, higher than guys like Laquan Treadwell and Dante Moncrief and A.J. Brown. There's been some good ones. Number 8, he's got every chance to be the best. And you're starting to see just the maturation of a young receiver from the first quarter, first drive, dropping the ball on a 3rd down, the miscommunication on a vertical route a few drives ago with his quarterback, and right there making a play when his quarterback needed him to.
Now listen, one of the big stories going into this game was how much Auburn's been turning the ball over. That Auburn's 2-2, but folks, if they're not, listen, the turnovers have killed them. They could be undefeated. Meanwhile, Oklahoma's defense, masterful at getting the ball, at takeaways. They don't have one today.
Yeah, just haven't been able to get a ton of pressure on Peyton Thorne. I think Hughes done a really good job of protecting when he wanted to take shots, of getting the ball quickly out of Peyton Thorne's hands. Just not an opportunity to really disrupt Thorne in the backfield.
Coleman puts them in position. 42-yard reception. Thorne on the slant. That ball was denied as he was trying to get it to Coleman. It was McKenzie defensively right there.
And this is dangerous. This is real dangerous. Watch McKenzie right here. Watch the eyes of number 11 the whole way, watching Peyton Thorne on this RPO, getting right into the passing lane and almost coming down with that one. That's one that maybe just hand it off, right? I know the box count's not perfect, but you're 11, 12 yards from the goal line. Let's just chip away at this thing, not make a catastrophic turnover decision.
Stutzman staring down Thorne. 2nd down. Here's Simmons. Simmons straight ahead, and Simmons was just tripped up by McKenzie.
Boy, and a massive block by Rivaldo Fairweather, the tight end, big number 13. Opening up the lane on the outside for Malcolm Simmons. Watch this block by 13 here on the true freshman, Eli Bowen. That's just another great look at the progressive pylon cam of that block by Fairweather, and Simmons getting down to the 3-yard line.
Final seconds of the 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 1. Thorne trying to do it on his own, and I think he's going to be short. And that mark looks like he's about the length of the football short as Omasigo and McKenzie combining on the tackle. And we're going to have drama with 4s up in the air. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. It's a 4th and it.
Welcome back to Auburn. Hugh, 4th and inches. What will you decide to do?
The book says go for it. Didn't like it. We're going for it.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Boy, watch right here. Peyton Thorne in his center. Connor Lew just practicing a quarterback sneak right there.
Let's see if that's what they do. Remember, Sam Jackson was the short yardage quarterback when they went for it on 4th down inside the 5 and failed earlier today. Let's see if that's what they do to start the 4th quarter. 4th and 1. Do they get the push? There it is. That's what they practice, and that's what they got. So the 4th quarter opens up with Auburn. And you see Joanna and Jeff Thorne saying, yeah, that's a 1st and goal.
And that opens opening drive, we saw the second drive, we saw the 4th and 1. They go to Wildcat quarterback. I love it. This time, put it on your offensive line. Put it on your quarterback, those running backs and tight ends. Little push for the pickup. And I love they practice it because this is a team that's gun all the time.
I love that they had all the offensive linemen trying to shield what they were practicing, except you got that sky cam. You got that sky cam, Mr. Rogers, and you found it. Thorne to the end zone. Flag comes down as Luke Deal gets the touchdown reception. Jeff and Joanna saying, "Attaboy, Peyton."
Pass interference, defense number 2.
Billy Bowman was draped all over Deal there, and a great throw by Peyton Thorne. Look at all the linebackers. Danny Stutzman sucking up, and a great job putting that where only Deal could get it. With one of the best safeties in the entire country, Billy Bowman draped all over him. The catch looks good. And a massive 4th down conversion and touchdown answer from this Auburn offense and Peyton Thorne.
That was a well-managed drive, a little gutsy too, as Magoo adds the extra point. Here's the Olympic gold medalist Suni Lee. Auburn proud, loving that moment there.
And Luke Deal came into this game on the season with 1 reception.
Joe Jordan and Katie with you here at Jordan-Hare Stadium, where Auburn came into this game with 14 turnovers. It was killing them. That's why they had the 2-2 record. Today, not a single turnover, and they're in control against Oklahoma here in the 4th quarter. Let's say hello to Kevin Nagandi in the studio. What's up, my man?
Let's take a look at this. Number 4, Alabama set the host. Number 2, Georgia tonight. The fans, even though we're about 90 minutes away from kickoff, filling it up. Ready to go. The Tide come in as a 1-point underdog at home for the first time since 2007. That was Nick Saban's first season in Tuscaloosa. Back to you.
Jordan Rogers, give me the X factor in that game, Georgia and Alabama, coming up here on ABC.
I actually think it's Mike Bobo, the offensive coordinator for Georgia. Against Kentucky, they didn't move no motion or anything. I want to see a more creative game plan to give Carson Beck more layup throws to get that passing game going.
And now the true freshman quarterback for Oklahoma, Michael Hawkins, in a tough spot, trailing by 11. He only has 61 yards passing up until this. Bauer Sharp, chunk play, Sooners.
Boy, the respect you have to give Michael Hawkins Jr. when he gets outside the pocket. Watch this corner sit and wait for him, and that leaves Bauer Sharp to skate down the sideline. That linebacker corner was on Sharp, had to peel off to make sure the dual threat quarterback didn't take off with his legs, and it opened up the explosive play downfield.
35-yard reception for Sharp. Hawkins, short pitch to Barnes. Barnes well blocked, and a first down, Oklahoma. Just what they need for this possession.
And now you're starting to see an uptick of the tempo here for Oklahoma. They've been similar to Auburn, trying to go fast, slow it down, look to the sideline.
They're going to mark him just short, just like an inch short of that line to gain.
Well, and Auburn trying to sub right now, so they're going to hold Oklahoma. Let these defenders trot off the field.
They only got one more to get off the field there. That was Crawford, who was late to run off. All right, here we go, 2nd and inches. Sawchuk straight ahead and a whole lot more. Gavin Sawchuk, as Oklahoma has found their offense here in the 4th quarter. We're going to check on a flag back at the 29.
Holding. Offense number 87. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Well, it's going to be Jake Roberts. Just getting his left arm hooked on a defender. He's right here. He's going to work up, and then as Sawchuk cuts to the left, he's going to get his arm hooked right around Austin Keys, I believe, the linebacker. That wipes off a big run.
Seth Luttrell, the play caller for the Sooners. They got to strike, and they got to strike fast. Sawchuk, the lone back. 2nd and 11. Flag came in pre-snap.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense number 86. 5-yard penalty, and then second down.
All of a sudden, they're going in the wrong direction. That's McIntyre, the backup tight end.
Yeah, the tight end that had to change numbers because of Jacob Johnson, the cornerback, coming over to wide receiver like Katie mentioned earlier. Just getting a little too antsy on that play. And boy, after two big positive plays, now headed in the wrong direction twice in a row.
9th penalty on Oklahoma for 74 yards.
As a young quarterback here, you're not going to get all 16 back here on second down. Just get something positive.
Hawkins with a lot of time. Has to make a decision and then backs all the way up and throws it away. It was Keldrick Falk who was getting to him.
Boy, I sound like a broken record, but the coverage on the back end by the secondary for DJ Durkin. He mentioned yesterday, Hugh Freeze mentioned, they got 2 redshirt freshmen and 2 true freshmen on the back end playing for Auburn because of injuries. That unit has been excellent tonight.
Listen to this place on 3rd and 16. They're going to go quick to Hester, and Hester won't find much on what was 3rd and 16 as Riddick, who's been very active today, with another tackle.
And Oklahoma's going to roll the dice here. Look, they're getting a ton of man coverage. At some point, they're going to have to take a shot downfield. Get a 50-50 situation. Give your guy a chance to make plays or make a play downfield. Here on 4th and 10.
And I'll remind everybody of one of the big stories coming into this game, and that is all the injuries that Oklahoma has suffered at receiver. They don't have the weaponry they want to have on the outside. 4th down and 10. True freshman Michael Hawkins on 4th and 10. He is sacked. Jalen McLeod shuts the door on Michael Hawkins.
Jalen McLeod beating the left tackle with a speed rush. He came off last drive with a bum shoulder, back out there fighting through pain in one of the biggest pass rushes of the night to stop Oklahoma on 4th down. And up 2 scores, give the ball back to his offense.
SEC on ABC is presented by Burger King. You rule.
Well, Albee is leading the celebration right now. It is 21-10 Auburn in a season where they've looked at what's happened. The game against Cal, the game against Arkansas. You heard what Hugh Freeze said. Hey, man, we play Arkansas 10 times. We're in the, like, these fans are sitting there saying, how do we have these 2 losses? Well, you turn the ball over. Today, you don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, great quarterback play today, protecting the football. And the downhill run game really started getting going with Jarquez Hunter as well.
Now Hunter right behind Peyton Thorne. He has 52 yards rushing on 11 carries. Maybe they will feed him here in this 4th quarter, and that is the case here. And this is exactly what Jarquez Hunter can do.
Boy, just a great job. Perry Lewis, Jeremiah Wright blowing the way for Jarquez Hunter, and Eli Bowen making the tackle at the end there, coming up a little lame. He got up and trotted off. Big hit, but a great run by Hunter. And this is where you want to see the physicality, the size that Auburn has up front with Jarquez Hunter, just to be able to take over a 4th quarter on the ground.
Oklahoma's defensive coordinator, Zach Alley, said to us the other day, he said, I think Jarquez Hunter is the best player on the field every time he's on the field. And right now he's got 74 yards on 12 rushes. Georgia and Bama is coming up next right here on ABC. Heavyweight battle in T-Town on the other side of the state coming your way. That ball was thrown behind the intended target, Robert Lewis, as Billy Bowman was trying to break on it.
So this is one of those decisions. There's going to be 7 guys in the box. This is the right job by Peyton Thorne. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So pull it on the RPO, but watch the outside guy here. Maybe don't throw the inside slant. Hit Cam Coleman at the top there. The right pull, but the wrong throw, and a really dangerous throw into traffic with Billy Bowman right there.
Boy, you see Cam Coleman just sitting out there with all that space around him. Now somebody was off the mark there. They went with a quick strike, but KLS was streaking down the field.
Yeah, another miscommunication. You got a soft corner there. Peyton Thorne's expecting that to be a hitch route. There was another time on that touchdown throw. Remember, he pumped thinking KLS was going to stop on a hitch route or a stop route, and he went vertical. So a lot of communication issues between these receivers. Not sure who was wrong on that one, but it stopped the clock for the second play in a row when a run play was called.
3rd down and 10. Play clock counting down. And they're going to have to burn a timeout. As Hugh Freeze was watching Peyton Thorne just look at that play clock and say, hey, we got ourselves in a little bit of trouble there.
Yeah, I think he's saying you threw that ball twice. We got to hand it off. You had a big run from your running back, Jarquez Hunter. And then twice on RPOs. They might be the right decisions, but let's just hand it off. Let's keep that clock going. Get some positive yardage. Instead, 2 incompletions stop the clock, and a miscommunication there as they tried to adjust the play with the play clock ticking down.
Peyton Thorne 16 and 25, 251 and 3 touchdowns today. On a day we really have seen the young wide receivers shine. As Simmons had the big touchdown, Coleman's had 82 yards to lead the day receiving. 3rd down and 10 after the timeout. Hunter just gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, a good play on the backside there by Kip Lewis. That's one where after a couple incompletions, you maybe would have wanted to block that up or throw it there with that many guys in the box and bring in backside pressure, but just hand it off. Let this clock start to tick away here in the 4th quarter. See if you can't make a field goal.
Remember, Alex McPherson, who would be the normal starting place kicker, he's missed the entire season, didn't miss a field goal or PAT all last year. So Towns Magoo, the true freshman, with a 51-yard attempt. And that had no chance whatsoever, so it remains an 11-point margin. And it is now time for the Aflac trivia question. We've got the true freshman out there today for Oklahoma, Michael Hawkins Jr. And we ask, before what happened today with Michael Hawkins Jr. starting here on the road at Auburn, who's the only other Oklahoma true freshman quarterback to make a start on the road? Their first start on the road, it should be. Who's the only other Oklahoma quarterback as a true freshman to make their first start in a road game? They've had some of the all-time greats.
Caleb Williams came in the Red River and started next week, but I think that was at home.
He was a freshman in 2021. But let's answer it here. This is a good one, right? Because you got to go all the way back to 1984, and it's an all-time legend in football. The last true freshman to make his first start on the road, a true road game for Oklahoma's Troy Aikman. That was a loss at Kansas. Hawkins is going to air it out and connect. Big time throw and catch. Hawkins to J.J. Hester.
What did I say last drive? They're getting man coverage. At some point, they're just going to have to take a shot. And who is it? J.J. Hester, the 6'4", 200-pound, fifth-year senior working on Kane Lee. Really the best cornerback for Auburn right here, man-to-man. J.J. does a great job of stepping on his toes there, climbing on the inside, then getting outside and staying.
sitting back saying, hold 9 minutes to play, and we're going to cut into this thing.
Boy, I just saw Michael Hawkins Jr. yelling at his offensive line, I think encouraging, saying, let's punch. Parents in the stands.
Annabelle and Michael Sr. Michael Sr., who played for Bob Stoops, was a cornerback. Second and goal. Barnes straight ahead, and here come the Sooners. So Michael Hawkins, the true freshman, starting on the road here with a 60-yard reception to J.J. Hester. The completion downfield, and then Barnes brings it in. Go for Dos brought to you by Dos Equis, as Oklahoma is going for 2 to try to make this just a field goal game. Can they cut it to 3? What a moment for Michael Hawkins, the true freshman. 2-point conversion attempt. Hawkins looking to extend this play. Tosses it to the end zone. Diving effort from Sharp, can't come up with it. It was Jalen McLeod who was pressuring Michael Hawkins. But all of a sudden, you look up at that scoreboard, and what felt like the kind of game that Auburn was taking in for a nice soft landing. A 60-yard pass to Hester. And the Sooners are right back in it. Back here in Auburn, Alabama, we got a good game not far away from one of the most iconic corners in all of American sports. Toomer's Corner. Get your lemonade, look at the live oak trees, and take in all the pageantry and history of a football weekend here at Auburn. 21-16 after Oklahoma just found something offensively. What's going on, Kevin?
Yes, yeah, we got live look in here. Carson Beck getting ready for Alabama. You know, Book, Georgia's the only team with no turnovers this season so far.
No doubt about it. In the game last year against Alabama, Alabama did not blitz Carson Beck one time. Will that change tonight, Kev? Can't wait to find out.
Number 2, Georgia getting ready for the road game against number 4, Alabama. That's coming your way prime time on ABC, Tess.
I cannot wait for that, Kevin and Boog. Carson Beck with 7 touchdown passes on the year. Be interesting to see the kind of role that Jalen Milroe plays for Alabama. Do they commit to allow the quarterback run game?
And we saw the deep ball come back against Wisconsin. Ryan Williams, the young 17-year talent at receiver, had a huge day. Expect him to make a few plays tonight as well.
Between Ryan Williams and Bama and then Cam Coleman here at Auburn. I mean, you got 2 of the next great all-time receiver stars just blossoming here in this state. But this Georgia-Bama thing, it defines so much in our sport.
And I love now that we have the 12-team playoff. This is going to be a heavyweight matchup tonight, but it doesn't knock either team out of their playoff aspirations.
No, but it's nice to be the 1 seed.
Oh, I'll take a bye.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Remember, only the conference champions can get that first round bye. There will only be one SEC team sitting there 1 through 4. 2nd and 11. Thorne steps up, avoids the pressure, tucks and runs, and makes the most of it before he's taken down by Kip Lewis.
Yeah, and Peyton Thorne's got to keep making decisions like that. He's going to get himself into trouble if he decides to force one into tight coverage. Oklahoma was great on the back end there. So just cut your losses, scramble, try to make a play with your legs. He's been perfect protecting the football tonight. Only a couple throws that he would want back. He's got to continue to be clean here on 3rd and 6.
They're 3 of 10 on 3rd down today.
How about this? Hudlin, wait until 12 seconds left on the play clock. Getting every second of this clock here to tick down in the 4th quarter.
3rd down and 6. Quickly gets it out of the backfield and for a first down, as it's Jarquez Hunter who's just sprinting out of that backfield and gets 7 yards on what was 3rd and 6.
Yeah, great play design there. Trace Ford, the defensive end's got to peel off on Hunter. A little bit of a pick play by Keandre Lambert-Smith there as well. Just a great call by Hugh Freeze. and a big call. You felt like they needed some momentum there after how the last drive ended.
Danny Stutzman and this Oklahoma defense, they need to stop. They need to give their offense a chance here, trailing by 5. Hunter on the ground. Hunter keeps his footing and bursts past midfield.
Boy, he's going to run right through an arm tackle from Danny Stutzman. Not many people can say they've done that. But this is Jarquez Hunter. This is why I was saying last drive, just turn and hand it to 27. Like, the first guy never brings him down. Couple positive plays to 27, and that clock now ticking under 6 minutes.
Using every precious second that the Sooners need and desire. Snapping at 1. And Thorne goes ahead.
Boy, a little wrinkle there on the zone read. That time a B-gap insert. And Auburn has just eaten up the clock. Time of possession you see there, 30-23. Two guys that are at the top of their professions on their respective sides of the football in a battle here in the fourth quarter.
It's 4-minute offense for Auburn as Alston that time was tackled for a loss. It was a good effort defensively by Omasigo.
And Oklahoma keeps adding a second-level defender to the box here. I think they're saying, look, we're not going to let you just hand off and take the time away in this game. We're going to force you to throw the football here. Put the ball in your quarterback's hands.
Des Malone, Danny Stutzman, and the rest of this Sooners defense.
Auburn goes trying to find a Mustang package, all 5 wide receivers, no running back in the game, and Oklahoma stacks the line.
On 3rd and 4, can the Sooners get the much-needed stop? Thorne. It is intercepted! Intercepted by Lewis! Kip Lewis, could he? My, oh my! Pick 6! Just like that.
We have been praising Peyton Thorne for protecting the football. It's been the storyline of this Auburn offense all year. Oklahoma just needed one here in the fourth quarter to go their way. They dial up a 0 pressure and bait Peyton Thorne into throwing exactly where they wanted him to.
And now Oklahoma is going for 2 to try to push the lead to 3. Michael Hawkins back to pass. Now he's going to try to run, extend the play. Hawkins looking for anything. Can he get to the corner? Dives in! 2-point conversion. What seemed hopeless just moments ago, all of a sudden is an Oklahoma field goal lead. Boomer Sooner here on the Plains.
Are we seeing a star born in front of our face in Michael Hawkins Jr.? We've seen it with his legs. It was the big pass play to J.J. Hester to cut it to a 1-score lead. The pick 6 and then putting his body on the line to put Oklahoma up a field goal.
I mean, this is outrageous. Auburn was in a 4-minute offense, running clock. Turnovers have killed them all year long, and they didn't have one. Here's the 2-point conversion.
And Auburn has struggled with mobile quarterbacks, keeping them in check. Hawkins makes the decision right here. I'm going for broke. And we saw him come up short last week against Tennessee on a similar play, putting his body on the line this time. Punches it in.
A 63-yard pick 6 interception return touchdown. down by the captain today, Kip Lewis.
And I love what Oklahoma did on that pick six. They stacked the line of scrimmage, everybody up close to force Peyton Thorne into a hot throw. Little did he know that was exactly what they wanted. Here it is right here. All these guys stacked at the line of scrimmage, but watch Kip Lewis is going to bluff and then drop right back into that slant window. Baited him into a quick throw. Anytime you stack the line like that, you know the quarterback's going to try to get rid of it quickly, probably to the middle of the field because there's no safety, so you drop the linebacker right into that window. But, man, it's still not easy to make that catch and take it back for 6. That was a hell of a play.
We're prepping for this game. Brent Venables described Kip Lewis as a ball magnet.
Yep.
The magnet got it. And then he became a rocket. 63 yards later, Oklahoma now has the lead. Option, Thorne, pitch to Hunter. Hunter out at about the 29-yard line, under 4 minutes to play. The story has been turnovers for these two teams. Oklahoma now 49 points off of turnovers. That's the most in major college football.
And the storyline for Hugh Freeze and this Auburn offense continues with turnovers as well.
Here's Thorne. Back to business. First down for Auburn as he gets it to Robert Lewis. Under 3.5.
Here, 2 timeouts for Auburn. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. You just need a field goal. Don't feel like you got to start taking shot plays. Take what's there. Get back to the ground game. Methodically get this thing downfield.
Yeah, keep it on the ground with Hunter. They have 2 timeouts remaining as we come up on 3 minutes to play. Just suddenly, it was 21-10 Auburn. And then the young Michael Hawkins hits a 60-yard completion downfield. Cuts it to 5, and then the pick 6. There's the lead. And now Thorne looking for anything, and he gets corralled by Danny Stutzman.
Thorne took a huge hit there, right in the hip. You can see him wincing in pain. He's been putting his body on the line today as well. Danny Stutzman, neck roll and everything, coming downhill, laying the hammer.
Remember, they got a true freshman kicker in Towns Magoo, who missed from 27 yards and 51 yards today. Alex McPherson, who should be the starting kicker, has been out the whole year, out with an illness. Here's 3rd down and 4, and he's sacked. He is sacked by R. Mason Thomas.
R. Mason Thomas working on Percy Lewis, the big left tackle, and he's just going to beat the 6'7", 355-pound left tackle with speed on the outside. Right here, just right around the corner. Getting on Peyton Thorne on 3rd down, and Oklahoma with a huge stop.
2-minute timeout. It's arrived. Joe Tessitore, Jordan Rogers, Katie George with you back here at Auburn, with Auburn all of a sudden trailing by 3, facing a 4th down. A near miraculous comeback by the Sooners with a pick 6 from Kip Lewis that gave them the lead moments ago. Here it is, 4th and 11. Peyton Thorne back to pass, pressured, extends the play. Chased down and absolutely blasted. Blown up by R. Mason Thomas again.
Back-to-back plays by R. Mason Thomas. First on the left tackle, this time on the right tackle. The speed never gave Peyton Thorne a chance. Watch him work off the edge here on the right. Thorne barely gets a chance to get his eyes downfield before he's trying to dodge the tackle. And the coverage on the back end, great, because Auburn held 2 extra guys in, so only 3 receivers in routes there, so everybody double covered. And R. Mason Thomas with 2 of the biggest plays of the night, back-to-back, to close this one out, possibly.
Earlier in this 4th quarter, yeah, that sums it up. We get your pain. Earlier in this 4th quarter, Auburn led 21-10. the Oklahoma offense was struggling. A true freshman quarterback making his first start on the road, this is him, Michael Hawkins here, decides to air it out and hits a 60-yard completion downfield to J.J. Hisser. This is the moment right here, Jordan.
And just the third pass that traveled further than 15 yards all year for Oklahoma. That one on the money. And then it was the Oklahoma defense like they have done all year. Kick Lewis dropping right underneath that slant route by Peyton Thorne and taking it back to the house. And this game turned on a dime.
Coming up on a minute to play. And then we're getting you to that heavyweight clash in Tuscaloosa as the flags come down. As Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit and Laura Rutledge and Holly Rowe will have coverage.
Snap, 15 of the offense was not set. It's a 5-yard penalty for a false start. Be second down. The clock will start on the snap.
That broadcast crew will have coverage of Georgia at Alabama. I mean, are you kidding me with this day of SEC football on ABC?
It's been unbelievable.
How good has this been?
Ole Miss gets upset by Kentucky. We got a thriller right here. Oklahoma somehow, with all the injuries, are going to move to 4-1, possibly here with an upset. Maybe an upset, but a big win on the road. Your first SEC game on the road.
And then tonight, Georgia and Alabama coming up in moments from the other side of the state. Here's Barnes. Let's go to the studio to Kevin.
Tess, I wonder what he's thinking about right now at Nick Saban Field. We'll find out soon. Saban and College Game Day will be live from Tuscaloosa to get us ready for Alabama and Georgia. Meanwhile, there is Kalen DeBoer's team coming in as an underdog. Primetime matchup. Let's go back to the Plains.
Thank you very much, Kevin. That is going to be something. There is Kip Lewis, who had the pick six that he returned 63 yards. Man, oh man, Peyton Thorne. I mean, all week long, all they did was concentrate on ball security, on not throwing interceptions. That's what killed Auburn in the weeks leading up to this. They only have one turnover today, and it's that one.
And it cost the game. It really did. The decision-making that led to that, then the turnover. Auburn still with one timeout here, so on third down, they're going to be able to stop the clock, force Oklahoma to make a decision. Do you kick the field goal? Probably, yeah. But then that still makes it
a manageable one-possession game.
One-possession game.
But it gets it out of the field goal range.
Yep.
So here is that 3rd and 11.
As a young quarterback, you can't take a sack here.
Absolutely not. Got to play it safe. Ball security and think about the field goal range as well. Remember, the communication cuts off at 15, so he waits, and then under 15 on that play clock, he looks over to the sideline. They run option. Hawkins keeps it himself, and Hawkins gets it down to the 22-yard line. And timeout, of course, will be used by Auburn.
And a great decision there by Seth Littrell. The box was stacked. You had man-to-man coverage, but you had to force Auburn to use a timeout there.
You know, it's just hard to believe. And this is such a fickle game and a heartbreaking game, because you can sit here and you can seemingly do everything you want to do right, and that was the case with the quarterback play, with what Hugh Freeze was talking about all week long, and it just takes one moment, Jordan.
We're getting ready just to sing the praises for 4 quarters of Peyton Thorne, right? The turnover-prone offense that protected the football all game, and then concentration and decision-making lapsed in the 4th quarter, and like they do and like they have all year, Oklahoma capitalized.
This super talented Oklahoma defense that has gotten the ball from everybody has scored points off their takeaways. When they needed it, they got it. And now Zach Schmidt is on for the field goal attempt to try to make it a 6-point lead. 39 yards for Schmidt. They're going to fake it or try to draw them. See if they call a timeout here. As quickly Josh Plaster, the holder, went under center and gave them that look. So now one timeout remains for Oklahoma. Auburn, of course, they've exhausted all their timeouts.
And it wasn't just the interception, it was the decision-making before that. That's an RPO that he decides to pull, nearly an interception, and again, just hand it off. I know it's not perfect, but you stop the clock, another no positive gain, and then a third down, clock's ticking down, and Hugh Freeze
scores 21-10 at this point.
Livid, yes, 21-10. Hugh Freeze was livid with the decision-making of his quarterback, and that was right after Jarquez Hunter just ran through an arm tackle for a big gain. Sometimes, no matter how it looks late in the game, you just got to hand it off. Keep the clock moving, churn yards out instead. It's a different ball game here with 58 seconds left.
All right, so back to business for Zach Schmidt. 39-yard attempt to try to give them a little bit of a cushion here with under a minute to play. Well struck. Good rotation and through. So now the stage is set for Auburn with no timeouts remaining to salvage this day at home.
Field goal off the board now, so with no timeouts and probably a little less than 50 or around 50 seconds left, you're going to have to go nearly the length of the field. How does Peyton Thorne respond after a devastating interception that turned this game? They do have big, talented wide receivers, and they're going to need a couple chunk plays to get themselves in a situation to take a few shots in the end zone with little to no time left in this game. Boy, the roller coaster of emotions
Isn't it amazing?
Auburn fans have been through today. Finally seeing their offense have a pulse, protect the football, go up and down the field, to have your hearts just ripped out here in the fourth quarter. That sunburn won't be the only thing that's hurting tonight.
That's a good point, my man. That's a good point. Got a football that was thrown from the stands.
An audition?
Schmidt kicks away. And Jordan, I will ask you now, if you are Peyton Thorne and you are Hugh Freeze and you got to manage 54 seconds to bring it all the way down the field for a game-winning touchdown, how do you approach it?
Well, you got to get a layup first. You have to get some kind of positive yards on this first play. A negative play or zero gain is the worst thing that happens. Then you can push the tempo. Then you can try to take a shot down the middle of the field. Because remember, that ball, the clock will still pause on a first down, give you time to line up, clock it if you need to, and salvage some of the clock. But this first play is so important to get some positive gain.
You got really talented receivers with KLS and then the two-star freshman. Let's see how he goes to work here. Here is Thorne. Quick strike over the middle as he is able to connect with Fairweather, the tight end.
Oh, in an important spot there. They gave him the first down. So the clock will pause momentarily.
10 yards to Fairweather. Thorne.
Oh, there's the blitz, and they bring him down. It was Robert Spears Jennings just darting in like a rocket. Heat seeking on Peyton Thorne.
This is where you still got to have awareness of where your pass rushers are. Haven't said his name a ton tonight. Robert Spears Jennings blows up Peyton Thorne.
Look at the time it cost him. They get it complete as he goes to Fairweather. But precious seconds counting down. Auburn's last hopes here. An 18-yard completion. Last play is under review. They're going to take a look at that reception and that spot.
What a huge benefit to Auburn. Get a chance here to huddle up, talk about your next play. You see Fairweather working down the middle of the field twice in a row with big catches. You can see,
oh, he's going to be short of that line of game.
I think that's going to be at least a half yard short or so.
Let's bring in Matt Austin, our rules expert. Give us the complete scenario here, Matt.
Yeah, Joe, I think it's pretty clear that he's definitely going to be short. And what that's going to do, it's going to create a running clock, which means the clock never should have stopped. So what they're going to do is they're going to put him down about a yard short of the line to gain. They're going to reset the clock to where it was when the runner went down. Then there's going to be a 10-second subtraction. And since Auburn doesn't have any timeouts left, there's nothing they can do about it. So they'll reset the clock to 19, then run it down to 9, and the clock will start on the ready for play.
Wow. That is a compromised situation with the clock that Matt Austin, our rules expert, longtime SEC official, puts forth. But watch how he comes up short here.
After video review, the ruling is the runner was down short of the line to gain to the 44-yard line. The clock will be reset to 19 seconds. Because it occurred under 2 minutes, there's a 10-second runoff. It'll be set to 9 seconds to start on the snap, on the ready. Third down.
On 9 seconds, that's it.
Yeah.
No timeouts, 9 seconds.
So Auburn's going to have to decide, you want to snap it right there, or do you want to, well, it's third down, but you still could
it'll be fourth down then.
Yeah, you still could clock it, though, and take a breath and
yes.
figure out what that one play is, because
you have the luxury with it being third down.
The 1 yard doesn't matter. You need 20 or 30 yards right here.
Here we go. Here's Thorne. Back to pass. Incomplete. 4 ticks of desperation remain.
And if that would have been complete, that might have been game over. So it's a good thing that was incomplete there. And now Auburn and Peyton Thorne will see how far he can throw it.
And if you look at the defensive backfield for Oklahoma, they are taking 3 defensive backs and lining them up across the goal line.
And Thorne has the arm here. I watched him in practice on Thursday reach the end zone from the other side of the 50.
Here's your ball game, America. Thorne's going to crank it up. It is caught at about the 13, and that will end the game. As that young man has a breakout moment, a true freshman starting on the road at Auburn, Michael Hawkins, a defense that came up big at the right moment with a pick 6 by Kip Lewis, and an Auburn 21-10 fourth quarter lead vanishes. It is Boomer Sooner for an SEC road win. Absolutely incredible fourth quarter. Coach Venables is with.
Brent, it was 21-10. Auburn looked like they were in control. How did your team gut this out and pull off this comeback?
Yeah, just staying together, believing. What a last couple of minutes there of the game, man, where our guys just dug in and were there for each other through the good, through the bad. Fantastic. There's great stops and amazing couple touchdown drives there by our offense. Better late than never. Incredibly proud of our guys. And Auburn, man, they played so well for so long. But hey, we just kept hanging in there. And that's what we told them, man. Just find a way to win. Get to 4-1. Somehow, some way, you got to believe. You're going to have to be ready to fight your butt off all the way to the last second off that clock. That's what coming to Auburn will do to you.
You were not thrilled with your defensive play at halftime. How pivotal was that group's performance, especially in this fourth quarter?
The fourth quarter, fantastic. And, again, Auburn's really good, man. When we went into this watching them from a year ago and running the ball on some really good people like Bama and Georgia. And they'd be 4-0 coming into this game had they just taken care of the football. So they blocked us. They ran through us, and they were physical. And our guys never stopped believing. They kept fighting. And, boy, what a really great win.
You don't win this game without Mike Hawkins, 60-yard completion to Hester, him putting his body on the line for the 2-point conversion.
Hey, it's about time, man. We've been waiting for an explosive play. And then how about Zach Schmidt? You know, what an amazing young man. Tyler Keltner had appendicitis, so he joined the injury list, and Zach was just fantastic, man. Fantastic all night long, and came up huge when we need him most, because that makes the difference on how they're managing that, those last few seconds there. Do they need a field goal or a touchdown? So, man, he's got ice in his veins. Really happy for him.
What'd you make of Hawkins' first career start?
Yeah, just his guts and his toughness. He can, Jackson can make a lot of really good plays, too, with his legs. Mike has great burst, incredibly explosive. he did a nice job keeping his eyes down the field. He's got a tremendous belief in himself and his teammates. He strains every snap, and the teammates followed that tonight, and that's how we won the game. You know, just they never put their head down. They continued to again just buy into what we're asking them to do, and so the guts and the toughness, man, you can't put a value on that tonight.
Congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Tess.
That 60-yard completion by Mike Hawkins, just the second Oklahoma quarterback to make his first start as a true freshman in a true road game. The pick six did it, too. 27-21. For Katie George and Jordan Rogers, I'm Joe Tessitore. Enjoy the rest of your night, including Bama and Georgia. So let's get you to T-Town with Reese Davis right